Mindfulness and Support. My name is Wendy Tiller, and I am running this presentation with my son, Evan.
I'm Evan. Good to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. So we're both very grateful to be here. We were talking, I don't know how many conferences we've attended. We're kind of sporadic.
My last conference was in Arizona when I was 8.
His first conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
My
first conference.
first one.
Yeah. So we were in California last year.
Yes, we
So
were.
yeah, we've been around the NSA block. We today are going to talk to you about the work that I actually do in my professional practice. I am a life coach, a purpose-based life coach, and what I'm going to have you do today is take an archetype test. How many of you have heard of the term archetype? Okay. So I'm a Jungian-based life coach, and the reason why I thought this was appropriate for the NSA is because we all portray different types of behavior patterns in our life. However, I may portray the archetype of the mother more than the archetype of the warrior, who is a professional woman, right? But that doesn't mean that I cannot be a warrior or I cannot be a mother. So the test kind of grounds you into the patterns that you are conditioned from early childhood, mostly from the mother, your mother, to portray into the world. And I'm going to hand that test out to you. It's going to take about maybe 5-10 minutes to go through it. It'll be downtime for you to think about all the questions, and then you'll assess where you fall in the archetypes, and we will have discussion after you have information to share. So that goes through the first two. The archetype test, it's by Carl Jung. How many of you are familiar with Carl Jung? Yes, he's kind of an offshoot of Sigmund Freud, and very into spirituality and connection to psychology and the crossover between the two. So his protege, Tony Wolff, is the one that came up with this test that I'm going to share with you. It's a great test. It's the first tool that I use when I start with clients. So you're one step into the life coaching process that I am trained to do after you take this test. We will then have some group discussions around the concept of shadow work. Anybody familiar with the term shadow work? All right, so Carl Jung is most famous for shadow work. Shadow work is the part of our personality that our ego works very hard not to portray. So if you're a mother archetype, you want to always be caring and loving and maybe doting and overcompensate because maybe your mother was like that, but there may be a part of you in your shadow that wants to be a little selfish. Okay, so these are some of the concepts that we're going to talk about. The results provide awareness to elements of personality that we may need to soften. So the reason why I felt like this tool would be great is when our young adults get to the stage of being a young adult, right, which my son Evan is, some different parenting patterns need to present. Because, and we've gone through this, Evan went to Florida State University, letting go is a big part of what a parent doesn't want to do, right? And a lot of my work, where my niche client comes from, is Next Purpose. That's the name of my practice, and I specifically target empty nesters. Wow. Yeah. So it's a place in life. It's a transitional place in life, just like Evan went through the transition of leaving the family home, going off to college. The parent is also transitioning. The marriage is transitioning if you're married. The family dynamic is transitioning if you have other siblings remaining at home, because the relationship between the siblings is shifting. The sibling might have some sadness. The parent might have some lack of purpose. If you're a full-time parent, wake up, there's nobody to do X, Y, Z. You have to look in the mirror and decide, what the heck am I going to do with my time now? So there's a lot of mind shift going on, and I felt like this was important work for parents to be aware of, and that's why I bring that fifth bullet there, awareness of the elements of your personality that you may need to soften and explore some of that shadow work, right? And then we have these lovely three gentlemen that are going to answer questions about what they felt they needed when they left the family home. Yeah, and you can ask them questions. It's an open panel. It doesn't need to be so targeted to one question. So you know how this is with the NSA. Whatever comes up, we address, and that's true for the entire hour that we spent together. So